Hi, I'm Rance Crane, Editor-in-Chief of Advertising Age, and I'm here at the storied Waldorf Astoria Hotel with a really good guy, Burtch Drake. Burtch, diversity has been a huge problem for agencies. Why is it proven so intractable?
You know, I've spent a lot of time thinking about the diversity issue, and it's not for lack of effort, at least on the part of the many trade associations representing the business. But I just, read a report the other day, I think in Ad Age, doesn't seem to be making any progress. And I think the biggest challenge is the advertising agency business does not appear to be really attractive to young minorities yet. Despite all the efforts through the portfolio schools, the scholarships that the 4A's is putting up, the work the AAF is doing, I don't know. Nobody has cracked the nut, and it doesn't seem to be, frankly, getting much better.
I've heard that one of the problems is that there don't seem to be enough role models for young black people.
I think that's true, and I think also the massive recession that the industry went into in 2008, just when there were a lot of programs going forward, the industry basically stopped hiring people. All the entry-level jobs went away, and that certainly didn't help at a time, I think, when the industry was getting some momentum on the issue.
You were one of the founders of Advertising Week, and that's one of your proudest accomplishments, I know. What was the idea behind that, and has it worked out the way you visualized it?
Again, it was a time in the industry was kind of in the depths. We were coming out of a recession, and Ken Case actually had come in, former CEO of DDB, as chairman of the 4A's, and he wanted a signature initiative to try and boost the spirits, if you will, of the industry. And essentially, the initial idea was a one-day affair that was going to be centered around, if you can believe it, an award show at Rockefeller Center. And we went to the ANA with it, and there was talk, does the industry really need another award show? And are there some other way we might frame this? Because there was general feeling that it was a good idea. And Ron Berger, who was on the board then, said, well, maybe we ought to make it a week and fashion it after Fashion Week, which is one of the great events here in New York, and kind of a signature event for an important industry here in the business. That was kind of the thinking behind it.
As we said in an editorial in 2003, some advertisers may really believe advertising and marketing services and the thinking and people behind them are interchangeable commodities. That's what the 4A's needs to address head on, we said. But is it the 4A's job to help agencies to differentiate themselves?
I don't really think so. I think, agencies are loaded with really smart people and strategic thinking, and they can differentiate brands. They should be able to differentiate themselves. I think the 4A's can and does provide support, but eventually that's the agency's job. And if they can't do it, how the hell is the 4A's going to do it?
Are there too many trade associations?
Well, probably so. And there were a number of efforts, actually led by John Dooner at one point, when I was involved with the 4A's, that where he looked at whether there should be some consolidation. And the specifics were, should maybe the Advertising Educational Foundation, which was originally spun out of the 4A's and the AAF and set up as a separate institution. I thought that should go into the AAF, because AAF is all about education anyhow, and has all the all the ad clubs around the country. And what's the AAF doing? It's bringing in visiting professors and putting kids into internships at agencies. So I thought that made sense there, and frankly, the AAF could use the money. So that was one possibility. And I always thought it was a bad mistake that the partnership was allowed to be established outside of the Ad Council. That was a very contentious argument and discussion at the time the partnership was originally launched by Lou Hagopian, among others.
Partnership for a Drug-Free America?
Partnership for a Drug-Free America. That's a separate organization, essentially doing the same thing the Ad Council is, except that they're doing it, focused single-mindedly on drugs. There was talk of putting those two together. That never happened, probably never will. But every once in a while, the thought of some consolidation does raise its head, whether or not it'll happen or not. I mean, will the MPA be around down the road, or will that merge with the IAB? these are questions that seem to surface, but it's one thing I did learn, it's very tough to kill a trade association.